us to talk about, because I noticed that here people have a lot of definitions about things. They have a lot of concepts around the thing. And I often tell this to my students. I teach African dance in Vancouver, so this is what I often say. I would say, if you were to go to my village and ask the elders in my village, what is community? Well, they wouldn't even know what you're talking about, because we don't have a word for community in my language, for example. We don't have a concept of it, but we live as a community. And in the Western world, I find that people are so busy defining the words and are having debates about, okay, what is the best community? How can we do community? They try to create structures to house communities, because, apparently without structure, we cannot have community. And to me, that is madness. That is nonsense. We're wasting time, and we're not going really to the depth of what it is about. To me, community is I would say it's a feeling, it's a mindset. It is how you see other people. How much care do you have for other people, whether you know them or not? I was brought up in a culture that taught me to respect other people, whether they're in my culture or not, whether they're in my family or not. I was brought up as a child. I had to call adults around me like my parents. So a man will be papa, a woman will be mama. I had Mama Lucie, Mama Jeannette. I remember all these mamas, Manga. They would cook. If I would go to visit them in their house, they would welcome me like their child. To me, that is a source of so much richness that I cannot even put in words. And I think when I get people the experience of that, they get it, they get a glimpse of it. But you see, we are in an environment where we have so many distractions. It's so easy to, let's say, if I have a fight with someone, it's easy to shut them off and to go and do my own thing. I don't need anybody to, for example, move. I can, as long as I have money, I can pay someone to help me move. But in our culture, we have no such luxuries. We have to get along one way or another. We have to fight when there's a fight, and then eventually we have to find a way to come back to the table and keep talking. If we're not able to do that, somebody will come along. The elders will come and say, okay, nonsense, enough of this fighting. You two have to come together. Why do we do that? Because we understand that it is jeopardizing the balance of the whole village. If you have two families fighting with one another, then the whole village is going to be affected. And so it is the business of the whole village. Here, people are so independent. Everybody wants to do their own thing, and they don't want. People will say it's not my business. Well, that's not true. Your environment is your business. Anything that happens in my environment is my business. But how do I say that to people here? When I start to do that with my own friends, I tried that. I had a group of what I called friends at the time, or little sisters, and I was involved in their life. At least, I thought it was my responsibility to do so as a big sister. Well, I learned through that experience how here it is so difficult to teach people who think that they already know something, because they know, again, definitions. I do not teach what I learned from books. I do not teach what I was told. I'll teach what I know from experience. I teach what I lived as a child in my culture. In Cameroon, my elders taught me a different way to be connected to people. They told me a different way to understand community and family and connection. And I don't know how else to say it. I have to show people.
Do you find us a little stiff and independent? And when I say independent, what I really mean is the illusion of independence.
I find that people in Vancouver, at least, want to be so self-reliant that they do not know how to bring other people in their lives in a meaningful way, how to call for help when people need something. In my culture, we have a way to teach the children to understand the importance of that. And one of those ways is through our stories. In our stories, we illustrate some of the values that we want people to understand. And there's one story that I remember that we have all heard. If we were brought up in Africa, we have many different variations of that story, but it's the same story of basically an elder on his deathbed. He gathers all his children around him, and through a metaphor, he explains to them the importance of always being connected. He takes the metaphor of a stick, and he says, one stick can easily be broken, but if you put them together as a bundle, even the strongest person cannot break the bundle. That is how much it's important, how important it is to really stick together. It always be together and not just one person trying to do everything. And so in our culture, we are taught the value of doing things together. Everything is made easier when we work together, and everything is also made more fun when we do it together because we can share the burden with one another.
I agree. I agree, and I think it's a big problem in our, let's call it the North American society. So from your perspective, you've lived here long enough now. What is the first baby step? Someone who is very independent, or again, thinks they are, because we're really not. We've substituted community and cooperation for money. But that's not really independence in any real way. So for you, now that you've been here, what's the first baby step?
To me, the first baby step is to learn how to be present. You see, when I go to Cameroon, my country, it's my reset button, really. I really understand it more when every single time I come back to Vancouver. And the last time I was in my country, I spent 3 months, which is maybe the longest I've been. I usually would spend maybe 2 months at the most. That time I spent 3 months. And I came back to Vancouver, and it was a shock right at the airport. And it was a familiar feeling, so I wasn't very surprised. But it kept growing more and more. And one day I found myself, a few days later, I had to go grocery shopping, of course, and so I found myself at the store doing my shopping. I was dressed with my colorful outfit, freshly from home, and people were looking at me, and some people were obviously attracted to me and wanted to come to say something to me. Eventually, one woman came and she was congratulating me on looking so colorful, and she enjoyed what I looked like. But I was looking at this woman, and there was this deep sense of fear inside of me that I cannot put into words. It felt like I was talking to a zombie, literally, because here it was this woman in front of me, talking to me, complimenting me, being very nice to me, but all I could see was lips moving, but I couldn't feel anyone there. Like there was nobody home. It felt like, oh my, I'm talking to a ghost. All these people are ghosts. I couldn't feel anybody there. What a contrast to when I was at home. People were really here. You could just feel people's presence. And it is such a bizarre experience. I don't know if many people have a sense of it. And I know that it would be overwhelming if I didn't come from a different place where I know what to do. So for me, the first thing is for people to be very present, to be here. And of course, it's not an easy thing to do because we distract ourselves so much because we don't want to face the pain, we don't want to face the feelings that we experience when we are present. But you see, when we are not present, we cannot access joy. To me, joy is not fun at all. Joy is so healing. Joy, and in my culture, we experience joy. In our celebrations, we experience joy. Even when we're grieving, there's a great sense of joy. And we can experience that because we are present to experience it to begin with. So here, the moment you're present to everything, the good and the bad. And there's a way to take care of what we call the bad, which is not really the bad. But through joy, to me, through joy, we can access that level of presence and we can heal everything.
So, okay, I get it. Community is good, but what do people stand to gain by going through all that effort? It looks like so much effort. Now, I understand it as more of a joy, really. Once you begin to go there, it's such a joy. But at the beginning, it might seem like a lot of work. So tell us what you think someone who is living this North American lifestyle now, trying to be independent, trying to do everything by themselves, what benefits will there be? What will they see right off the bat when they start to put effort into community and really caring, being present with people, being inclusive? What will they get?
I do not believe that people see this as effort. My belief is that people are in the habit of living disconnected. It's a big difference. When we have a habit, that's where we go. That is our first response to anything, our first reaction, our reset button right away. And so when we have an experience of something different, of an expansion, even when we are attracted to it, it's a little bit scary because it's out of our comfort zone. So the first thing will be, that's why I say breaking the habit of living disconnected, because it is really a matter of breaking that habit. Now, I come from a culture where I know from experience the benefit of all of this. And so I thought to myself, wow, wouldn't it be great to have the best of both worlds? The kind of connection that we enjoy back home and the type of lifestyle, the way of life that we have, feeling supported and we know that we have somebody to have our back whenever we need that. That is priceless. It brings a peace of mind that you cannot describe and that you cannot acquire by somebody that you're paying to have your back that way. We always have somebody to talk to. I literally have never heard in my country, in Cameroon, of anyone committing suicide because they are too lonely. That is the number one benefit, for example, that I see here. So many people are depressed, they feel so lonely, people commit suicide because they feel lonely. I mean, this to me, that is such a pointless death. I mean, it's so sad, really, when you think about it. It makes me so mad when I think about it because I can see how easily we could avoid things like this. How can you accept that somebody is so alone that they prefer to die rather than reaching out? Really, to me that is crazy. To me that is a poor culture. Really, that is another way to look at being poor. So that's one of the things that we will gain. Things like stress, isolation, disconnection will be erased. I know in Vancouver there was a study done a few years ago in 2012 where they concluded that loneliness and isolation was the more alarming social issue that Vancouverites had to face here before homelessness and hunger. That to me is crazy. So if we could put that aside and give people a sense of well-being, give people a sense of being supported, give people a sense of belonging to a bigger family, that will just change somebody's life right there. And from that place, to me, we can only create great things from the place of being happy, from a place of belonging and being connected to one another. And there's no limit to what we can achieve from that place.
Excellent. So just to close, I know that you have a website. How do people contact you? What is that website?
My website is jackyyenga.com. So Jacky is Jacky, Yenga is Yenga.com. And people can get in touch with me. There's my email address there. And I haven't started yet. I've created a YouTube channel and I'm going to do a series of talks where I explain different things about my culture so that people start having a glimpse of what it is and they can see if they feel attracted to it or not. And I do not want to attract people from an intellectual perspective. I want people to actually feel whether there's an expansion in their heart, if they feel attracted to whatever it is that they hear me say or the feeling that they get inside in their body. If they do, then I will invite them to simply try one of my events. Come and see how simply being together, not first, nothing really fancy. We simply eating together, talking with one another, singing together, very important in my culture, dancing together and listening to live music. It's just a very restful evening together.
Wonderful. How about if I come to one of your events and we'll do a little bit of video? How does that sound?
That sounds wonderful. I invite you to come to the next one.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Jacky, for being on the show.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. Bye, everyone.